Does she want to go to the park? Yeah? Boy. Uh-oh, I have low battery. Well, we'll see how much we can get. Okay, we were recording at the park today because I like this place. This is my peaceful place. If you ever plan on getting a working breed like a border collie, make sure that you have a park you can take them to. You already have to have your park picked out. You can tell the difference between the show breed, or a border collie that's been bred for a show line, and then a border collie that's been bred for a working line. Dash comes from a working farm. Dash is almost 8 years old and still has lots of energy. Recording in public spaces is always interesting. Here people are like, what are you doing? Go get a real job. Intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. So things that we want to do and don't do them, and things we don't want to do but we do them because we have some type of motivation. Dash is back here gnawing on his Frisbee. I just watched a Life of Risa video, and she was talking about quitting her very, very well-paying 9-to-5 job to start her career as a YouTuber or content creator. And during that time, she struggled with perfectionism, even though she was doing something that she wanted to do. We've all heard that quote, if you truly love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, she had quit the job that she only had extrinsic motivation for, and she began a job that she had intrinsic and extrinsic motivation to do, but yet was still stifled with this fear of not succeeding, or these internal fears and suppressors that prevented her from enjoying the process. Was listening to a podcast episode. The podcast hosts were interviewing a psychotherapist who is 82 years old, and the psychotherapist was saying that a lot of people have not necessarily a midlife crisis, but around 25 to 27, people began to realize that life is not really a sprint, it's more of a marathon. They were saying, like, why do older people tend to lose energy other than just physically? We get more tired and we don't have the same amount of high energy. But as you get older, what he said, around 27, you began to realize that life is a marathon and not a sprint. By realizing that, we can start to embrace the aspects of life that maybe we don't enjoy. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I've been a commercial photographer in this industry now for going on about 4 years, and learned a lot, worked on a lot of film sets. I've wanted to do this for a while, but I think the more you know, sometimes the more hard it is to do something like this. Having worked in the commercial industry for so long, I know exactly how to do the audio the best. Like my Zoom recorder over here, I know the equipment, I know the lighting, I know how to set it up the best. But is that preventing me from making content? For me, yeah, it is. My fear of it not being perfect is preventing me from going out and doing something that I actually want to enjoy, something that I have that intrinsic and extrinsic motivation to do. In the same way that we would think of an athlete wanting to run a marathon, their first step is to get off the couch and go run a mile. We have to kind of think of that in the same way of anything else you want to do in life. If my end goal is to be self-employed, or if my end goal is to succeed in anything, I got to start small. So starting small for me is sitting here in the park with my dog, somewhere that I spend a lot of time. I'm comfortable here, sitting down, pushing record, biting the bullet, and hoping I get something that's worth sharing. All of us want to share something that is meaningful to the world, something that maybe somebody else get something out of. But being in the content creation space for as long as I have, Truthfully, the interwebs and even off the internet, the world is overwhelmed with media, with photographs, with videos, with short form videos, and there's always the newest thing coming on the market when it comes to people sharing their own lives. In a world where there already is so much quantity, the threshold for quality is a lot lower, I feel, than we think it is. We are no longer in the days of society being able to unite over a single content creator or a single person, because everybody can have a platform. It's lowered the bar and then lowered the expectation. Everybody has a niche platform. Instead of creating something with polished perfection with the end goal of it reaching and affecting millions, although it can reach millions, isn't going to affect millions of people. Content could still be created on a small market and impact one or two people, because some people are going to watch the same video, some people are going to consume the same content and it changed their lives, and others are going to skim through it in 5 seconds and find no interest. In intro to marketing classes in college, they always talk about finding a niche market. I think that's even more important, that as a content creator, if you're going to create content, finding a niche market. So for me, I'm a flight instructor, so I've been making reels that are particularly pertained to the aviation industry, general aviation, student pilots between getting a private pilot license up into like a commercial rating. I've also been told before, like in the photo industry, you take 10,000 bad pictures before you fake your first good one. And I completely agree with that. I could say that for years I created work that was trash, but at the time you think it's good because your next project is better than your last project. And really that's the only goal, improving from the last project. And maybe that's the goal we need to achieve in life, is creating something and then trying to make it better the next time. So if you can't find me, look to the western sky. Someone told me lately, everyone deserves a chance to fly. Sometimes all we need is a little bit of motivation in order to get started. And then once we get started, sometimes it's not so bad. I'm in his chair. He doesn't like it. Are we in control of our own destiny, or is our destiny in control of us? If you're spiritual or religious, people tend to think that they're not in control of their own destiny. They're not in control of their own fate. They're not in control of their own lives. If they can believe that a higher power is controlling them like a marionette puppet, it can relieve some stress. But we all know things that would not have happened unless we took the first step, unless we had the ambition, the drive to start. Good catch. I went on a film walk the other day here in Birmingham and met a young lady, and she asked me, like, how did I get to be a part of the projects that I have been a part of? My answer to that was, well, luck. But was it luck? I reached out to a commercial photographer in the area that I knew nothing about and got lucky when she responded back and was interested in me coming and doing an internship. But the thing is, she was probably the 22nd person I had emailed. I got maybe 2 replies back from all 22 of those people. So was that fate? Was it luck that I was given such an amazing opportunity? Was it fate that guided me there? Was it fate that allowed that opportunity to happen? Or was it me sending 22 emails and on the 22nd time succeeding? I have this battle all the time wondering, do we wait for fate to step in? Do we wait for life to guide us into the direction that we should be in? Or are we actually in control of our own destiny and we just need the ambition to try 22 times in order to succeed? If we go back to Risa quitting her job and pursuing a career as a content creator, or this goes for doing anything freelance, we have this fear of not succeeding. But truthfully, why is that fear there? Because you're not going to succeed. We know we'll succeed in the long term, but very few will succeed in the short term. It's going to take drive, it's going to take ambition, and during those years that it takes to succeed, you're probably going to feel like a failure. Some might look at an influencer, a YouTuber, a celebrity with millions of followers and say, oh, they just got lucky, or they got selected, or they got picked, or they're one of the chosen ones. But are they really one of the chosen ones? I think we've all heard of the story of Walt Disney and his idea of a theme park being rejected many, many times before somebody finally invested in it. He believed in his dream enough to keep going even when everybody said no. It seems simple enough, but a lot of times the motivation is money. If you don't have the money to continue to try, sometimes we give up too soon. There's a lot of pop culture songs, like I think Try is a song by Pink. It talks about if we just try as it pertains to her relationship, continuing to try and build that relationship. That could go for many other things in life. So I guess my overall message here is that, one, we're going to have to embrace what feels uncomfortable in order to take that step. It's always going to feel uncomfortable. And I've been told before, if there's not some underlying sense of anxiety around whatever milestone you're trying to achieve, whatever first step you're taking, then you probably don't want it enough. Embrace the concept that life is not a sprint, but more of a marathon. And with that, enjoy the process of achieving either a dream or achieving just anything you have a intrinsic or extrinsic desire to do. Hopefully, we have both. This will be a wrap on my talking head portion of my first vlog. That's very run-on sentencey, but maybe I gained something from it. If the end goal is that I tried and I started and I embraced what was uncomfortable and am attempting to enjoy the process, then I might have succeeded in my goal.